Hello everyone, welcome to the session on COBOL programming, and I will be guiding you through the fundamental of COBOL today. And today we are going to explore the origin, relevance, and the key feature of powerful and enduring language. Like COBOL has stood the test of the time for a reason. By the end of the session, you will understand the why it is still continued to be a critical component of many organization and IT infrastructure. Okay, so without wasting a time, we should move ahead. Before we deep dive into COBOL, let me introduce you to Programmers.io, the company I am proud to be a part of, established in 2012. Like Programmers.io is a global software development firm specialized in both legacy and modern platforms. Like we have been serving Fortune 500 clients for over a decade, providing comprehensive technology solution with a focus on customer satisfaction. Our enterprise span across various technology, including IBM I, S400, .NET, and many more. Like we are committed to delivering and excellence in every project we undertake. So this was a brief about my company. Okay. So let us move that what is the agenda for the day. Like here is a quick look at what we will be covering today. An overview of what COBOL is. Secondly, why COBOL still relevant in the 21st century, even with the programming language dominant in the market. Third, the different type of COBOL program and how they are used. Key features to make COBOL unique and valuable. An overview of COBOL program structure, including the four main divisions in that. And by the end of the session, you will have a solid foundation to understand COBOL strength and architecture. So let's move ahead with the COBOL for the first agenda of the day, which is the introduction. Like COBOL stands for Common Business Oriented Language. Like it was developed in 1959, created by a group known as Codians. It was specialized, designed for business and administrative use. Unlike many programming languages, COBOL was designed to be readable and understandable for non-programmers, thanks to the English-like syntax. Like, if you see the syntax of COBOL, like we will be seeing in the future lectures or coming lectures, like you will be observing that there is a English-like tone in that. Like it is easily understand. Like by the sentence or by the word only, you will be knowing that what the functionality of that. So that is the English like sentence we have in COBOL. Like COBOL has evolved over a year and remain high adaptive. Like today it can run on the wide range of platforms, including mainframe, Windows, Linux, and Unix. This nature of adaptability and readability has made COBOL a preferred choice of business applications, particularly in industries like banking, insurance, and government, where you need to handle a lot of data with a lot of accuracy. Like you can't risk yourself when you're working for a banking system or insurance system or some government website, because if you compromise that, you will compromising with the security and everything. So yeah, now we're moving forward, that going towards the myth that many of you would be having in your mind. So why COBOL is still relevant in 2024? So here is the answer for that. The answer lies in the reliability, stability, and the ability. Three things to evolve in that. So let's more break that down, and we will be understanding that point by point. Like what is the thing that why COBOL is still in the market and getting compatible is compatible to another programming languages. Okay. So the first point is legacy system. A COBOL is the heart of many legacy systems, which are the backbone of many major industries like banking, insurance, and government. These systems have been running smoothly for decades, and replacing them would be costly and risky. Like, why would be something if something is working very fine? Why would be putting something risk on that? So it would be a not that much good decision on the business perspective. The second point is scalability and reliability. COBOL programs are known for the stability, which makes them go to choice for the mission critical application, where downtime and errors are not acceptable. Like we don't accept more error or critical application. We can manage critical application in many high time. So, stability and reliability. Like the third point is integration with modern technologies. Like COBOL isn't stuck in the past. It can integrate with modern technologies such as cloud computing, web services, even mobile application. This means that companies can modernize their IT structure without completely replacing their COBOL systems. Okay. So moving towards another point, COBOL system has inherited secure, which is crucial for industry data handling for sensitive data. Like it has built in the way that it doesn't handle much errors or something like that, and it is completely secure for everything. The fifth point is modernization effort. Ongoing efforts have been need to modernize and optimize COBOL code bases, make them an adaptive to today's need. Because of these factors, COBOL isn't just surviving, it is thriving as a key component of critical business operations. Okay, so I think these reasons are enough to know that why COBOL is still in the market and why we are still approaching COBOL in 21st century. Okay, so here is a fun fact for you. Like every time you visit an ATM, there is a good chance that COBOL is involved in the processing your transaction. In fact, that many of the transaction, largest bank rely on COBOL to handle billions, like I'm repeating that, billions of dollar transaction every day or every second for that. So this is the trust that COBOL has. By the effectivity, effectiveness it has, reliability and scalability by that. So so next time you visit an ATM, think that COBOL is running in the background for that. Okay, so now we will be going towards a program, different type of program in COBOL. Like basically, there are two main type of program: batch and program and online program. Let let's make a closer look to each of that. Firstly, we'll be moving to the batch program. The batch programs learn the large volume of data at once. Like they are typically run during the off-peak hours, like handling the task like end-to-end day payroll systems and report generation. Like batch program are executed as non-interactive background, means JCL, job control language. They are highly effective for the tasks do not require immediate user interaction. I think you got that. Like it is when we are handling large number of volumes in a time, and it is not working on the peak hours. Like it can like take an example of a report generation. It is not needed at the time, but it is needed. So it will be working on off peak hours, and it would be handling that. So that programs are called batch program. And if we talk about the online program, these program interact with user in the real time and common used for the application like ATM, online banking systems, and other airline systems and this kind of things. Online programs run on CICS, Customer Information Control System environment, which allows for fast user driven and interaction. Like they handle one transaction at a time, provide instant feedback to the user, like it would be needing. Like if we talk about the online program, if you visit to an ATM and the transaction haven't reflected, it would be a costly affair for you. That's why my transaction hadn't affair. At that time, you need to respond immediately for that. So online programs are designed in that way only, that it interacts immediately with the system and give the result, like which are important and prioritize. And if you talk about the batch program, they are run overnight or sometime off peak hours and something like that. Okay, I think you got the difference between the different type of COBOL program and what is the difference between batch and online program. Like don't get too much panic. Like if you are getting the word like JCL, CICS, and something like that, don't, because we will be going through each and everything in that, and it would be easy for you also to correlate in that. Like this is the word that we need to use for make a base in the lectures. So we are just using that, and you also getting you familiar with the terms in the COBOL we use. Okay, so now yeah, we will moving ahead. Oh, the most awaited slide, features of COBOL. So COBOL offers several features that make it unique and valuable for the business applications, like simple and standard language. COBOL syntax is like English like. making it easily to understand, and even for non-programmers, like we already discussed, like COBOL is very simple and easily to understand, like standard language, like it has syntax like English, like only by you can like by the terms or by the verbs only you can get that what it is for and what we are using in that. You get the basic idea about that. So COBOL is for that. And another point is business oriented. It is specifically designed to handle complex business processes such as payroll system and transaction processing, like we discussed in the previous slide. For that, stability and reliability. COBOL systems are highly stable and known for their reliability, making them ideal for mission critical applications. Like sometimes I like we will be also wondering that a language which is taking the load of things and everything from a past few decades, like it was made in 1960, that I was also not born at that time. So it is handling things from that period, and it is handling it perfectly. There is no any glitch and something like that in that, and it haven't failed in the performance. So would you rather think of changing it someday? And it is also giving you a modern touch and also getting compatible to modern things. So why would be you thinking to change the system for that? Okay. So moving to another point, structure and robust. COBOL follows a predefined structure that make it easy it to maintain, like maintain, debug, and expand. Like this point is very important, like structure and robust. Like if something has been written, it would be updating some another day in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, it would be updating someday. So to it would be the language should be easy to expand, and COBOL has that feature. Like it can be expanded easily. Because if it is like it is a one-time approach only, if it would be a one-time approach only that we have written once and will be doing once, so it will be very difficult to manage that. Like one time you have added a functionality, and if you want to expand that, you can't expand that. So COBOL with that feature also that you can expand the language very easily. And it is a self-documenting language. Like COBOL code often serve as a own documentation because of the readability and the clear syntax. This make it easy for the new developers to understand and maintain the existing systems. I think many things have been clear in your mind that how why the COBOL is still relevant. Like we have traveled a long way earlier. Like why COBOL was still relevant in the 21st century and the features. I think the base has been built now. Like like in the there are many things like why COBOL. I think now you have the why with you. That why COBOL in 2024. And now we will moving to how COBOL, that how we are going to the COBOL. So next move to another slide. Oh, program structure. Okay. So before we deep dive into like four divisions of the COBOL, let us discuss that what is the program structure. Like when a building is made or something like that, the basic structure is built first. So this is the program structure where the COBOL is basically written in that. At how the COBOL is being managed. Like COBOL is a very organized language. If you visit that, it is a very organized language in that. So it is a very it is a very organized language. So before moving towards the main thing, we will just putting that what is the structure of COBOL and the thing. So COBOL, like COBOL programs are designed to be highly structured and modular. This makes them easy to read, maintain, and debug, which is especially the important for large scale business and application. And every programs consist of structure, which are divided basically. If you see the flowchart also, it is divided into a structure which runs through the division in that. Like there are four divisions in that. If you see the after the program is the first thing. Like the building is the first thing. On the floors, that there are different floors. These are the floors are the division there, and there are four divisions. Every COBOL programs follow consistent structure, which divides into four main divisions. These divisions are like sections in the book, or I already told you, floors on the building, each serving with a specific purpose. Like identification division provides basic information about the program environment specify the environment in which program is runs, input and output devices for that. Data division defines all the programs which are in use, including variable in the file structure. Procedure division contains the logic instruction for what program actually is. This structured approaches the ensuring the COBOL program organized and easily to understand, even as they grow in the complexity in the future. Now you would be seeing section, paragraph, sentence, statement, characters. So we will be discussing with this. Now you got that what is a program? It is a building, big building of 4 floors. And what is division? It is a every floor. Sorry for that. My thought is a bit sore today. So yeah, moving ahead. Like what is division? It is a floor by floor. We are moving with that. So let's take a deep look into the COBOL organization and code using character, statement, paragraph, and the rest of the thing. Like this helped us to create a structure modular approach to the programming language. Like what is a character? Like we will be using from the downward hierarchy to upward hierarchy. Like character is basically the smallest hierarchy of the program structure. Like COBOL program start with an individual character including letter, digit, symbols, specific, and spaces, as they form a basic statement, sentence, and paragraph in that. I said statement, sentences, and paragraph. Now we'll be taking statement, like I said, statement, sentence, and paragraph. So now we'll be taking the statement as the upper hierarchy for that. A statement is single COBOL structure that perform a specific operation. For example, moving one variable to another variable, calculating, displaying things in that, and rest of the things in that. So these kind of thing we do with COBOL. Just give me a minute. Okay, it's done. So now this picture will be completely clear to you. So now when we move with the statements, a statement is a single COBOL instruction that perform a specific operation. Moving a data into, like I already said, moving a data into another, performing calculation, displaying outputs, uh, are handling in the statement through the statements. And now sentences. What is sentences? Multiple sentence statements are grouped together to form a sentence. Like in English also, multiple words are being formed today to make a sentence. Like in the same COBOL, multiple statements, as we discussed, multiple statements are grouped together to form a sentence. Like so what? How do we identify a sentence? Like it would be ending with a period. Represent to a complete set of related operation. Think them of collecting and inserting that achieve a particular outcome in that. And the another is paragraph. A paragraph is basically a collection of one or more sentences that accomplish a specific task within the program. Like paragraph are identified by unique name and used to organize related set of instruction in that. Like this structure help us to break complex task into manageable, readable chunks. Okay. So I think like program structure has been clear to you with that. So yeah, now like in the previous slide, the main after the program, the another thing was divisions, like how divisions is been made. Like we already told you that a COBOL program is divided into 4 divisions. So we'll be having a look of that today. Okay. So yeah, now we will be just moving towards the division. Like we already discussed and talk about it. Like the COBOL, the entire program is like the building and the divisions like a floor on that type. We have 4 floors in that. Like what is the divisions in that? We will go in depth with that. That how the division are being monitored and how the divisions are being handled in that. And what is the purpose of every division in that? How every division has their unique role in that. And what is the thing that we are been using divisions for? So yeah. So just moving with the first division, which is the identification division. And just give me, yeah, yeah. So this is the identification division. Probably you can call it also the identification division is basically the first division of the COBOL program. Like it is served as the header that provide the metadata about the program. This division crucially identify program purpose and the author. But what are the things in that? Like if we talk about the key component, you can also refer the image in that. Like if we are seeing the program ID, author, installation, COBOL writing. So like if we move with the program ID, what is the program ID? Specify the name of the program and it is required. It is a mandatory section in that. That what is the name of the program? You are starting with writing that. Author. Optional records the name of developer, that who is building the program. Then the installation, that installation indicates that where is the location and where the program is being installed. And date written and date compiled used to track the version history, that in which version it has been compiled and it has been used. Security, that specify which any specific security or classification for the program if we have. Like the identification division doesn't contain any executable code in that. It is purely for the documentation purpose only. It is purely for the documentation purpose only. Like in the program ID, the name of the program is mandatory and other things are optional in that. If we talk about this, and like what is the program ID mean? That name of program, that what program we are been saving that. And if we talk about the identification division, it is a mandatory division that we have to start with this only. And yeah, now we'll be moving to the another division, which is environment division. Basically, this environment division defines the system control where the program will run. It describes about the computer, input output devices, the file configuration the program will be using. Like it is divided into two sections for that, like configuration section and input output section. Like what configuration section does, specifies the system used to compile and execute program, including details like source computer, object computer, like which is the source computer you are compiling the, which is the object computer. And when we are talking about the input output section, it describes the file and the device used by the program, like file control, which is specifies that which file we are using in this, like which is there any input file or output file, is there any file we need to maintain the sequence for that, for taking the data from that. Like this has been used for that. Like environment division ensures that program known is hardware and the software context for everything, and it is a not a mandatory division in that for us. So like if we are using it, it is okay. And if we are not using it, then also okay. Like it is when we are using any file, it is mandatory to use that. But if you are not using any file, it is an optional only for us. Optional only for us. Like we are using that. And now we will be moving to the another division, which is the data division. Like it defines that all the data used by program, including variable, constant, and the data structure. These division have several key sections in that, like file structure, working storage section, local storage section, linkage section. Like we will be just understanding line by line what is the uses of that. Like if we talk about the file section, it defines a file structure and data stored in them. If we talk about the working storage section, it declares the variable that persists throughout the program execution. Local store, if we talk about the local storage section, similar to working storage section, but reinitializing variable each time the program starts. So that for this, the local storage section is used. And if we talk about the linkage section, it handles the data exchange between the program and the subroutine. If we talk like if you want to share any date or something like that externally, the linkage section has been used. By organizing the data definitions here, the data definition program allow COBOL program to work seamless with the data. Like if you want to, like COBOL basically is an organized language. Like if you want to declare any data or something like that, you want to declare variables in something. So we have to declare in the data division section only. And the data division only in the working story section for that. Because if we are using anything like in another programming language, you can declare everywhere we want. When when we are reviewing the code, when we are reviewing the code, it is sometimes difficult to identify that what we are doing and where the variable is being initialized or where we are using word or word. But in COBOL, it is in proper structure. Like the if there is any variable declared in that, it will be only in the working storage section only under the data division. Like by which we can identify that what is the things in that and what are the things we mean entered in that. So this was the entire functionality of data division. Now we will be moving towards the last division of which is the procedure division. The procedure division basically contains the logic and the instruction for processing data. Like, is there where the operations will be doing calculations, the output things will be happening. The procedure is divided into paragraph sections that contain individual statements and sentences. Like key concept including stop, run, perform, if a statement. Like these are the things we'll be talking more about that in the detail. Like in the image also you will be seeing a display, like what display does. We will be seeing the practical implementation for that and how these things are being working. This division, if we talk about the procedure division, this is the heart of every COBOL program, as it indicates the action to be taken. Like what the things will be doing in the program, what is the main logic for that, and how the main logic will be performing that, and what are the things will be happening, how what is the program flow, from where the program is being used, which is the calculation we are doing. Everything will be done in the procedure division. That's why it is also called the heart of the whole program. So this was it for all the four division we have discussed. The head of the family, which is the identification division, which is purely for the documentation purpose. Then in the environment division, which give us the program, that what is the hardware and the software context in that. Then the data division, that what Google program allow us to data, like the name only that specifies it. Data division, that what data we are being using in the Google program. And then we talk about the procedure division. What is the procedure, that what procedure would be following, how it would be working, the process will be completely flowing. So that things we are working in the procedure division. And yeah, just now moving forward with this, I hope the divisions would be clear to you. Like in the future, we would be making when we would be using a sample program, or we will be using that division, would be more clear for you that how the divisions are being used in that. And last, if you are going through a sample program to show that what is the program structure, this is a simple program, that what are the things been mandatory in that. Like, let me just tell you the output of this, that what is the output. It is would be hello world. In the in the next line would be PIO. Like simply, like here in the first thing you would be seeing the identification division, which provides the program's metadata for that. Environment division, it is not present because we are not using any external or something file. Data division, we are used for data that used in program and calling in the program. We are also not using because we are not declared any variable in that. And for processor division, instruction, that what we want need to display or what we want on the output screen. So basically display does that feature in that. Like here, if you see that there is also section 1000, section 1000 main, these are the main section and paragraph we will be using inside. We will be moving towards that in the ease depth in that how the divisions will be working when you move into the practical explanation of that. For this, just take this as an example for that how the COBOL program look like, to just make you a bit familiar that how COBOL program is looking like. When we learn a new programming language, we just what the first thing we do, that hello program, have hello world or something like that. So this is that only, like we are starting with hello world programming that, like you have entered into learning zone of COBOL. So welcome you all. So like if you see in the right side of the image, there are also division, section, paragraph, statement, and sentence. Like we have discussed previously, you can take reference of that. It is a procedure division, then section we have made, then we have made 100 dash main, it is a paragraph, then statement, then sentence. So it is like that. And basically each division serves a specific purpose in that, contribution to the overall structure of that, and the function of program. This modular approach makes the whole program both powerful and easy to maintain in that. Oh, okay. Yeah. So thank you for joining in the today's session on COBOL programming. We have covered a lot, from the origin to relevance to the structure and the organization in that. In our next session, we will be going deeper in the COBOL coding sheets and related item, that how they are being uh, done in that, and more concept we will be just going to go deep diver, and we will also taking some practical examples from that. Please feel to reach out, comment below if you have any doubt. We will just doing that. See you until next time. Thank you.